Hello everyone and welcome to my first narrated video. It's going to be a series called Game Plan about Battlefield Conquest matches first, but possibly expanding into other game modes or even games, I don't know. As you can see here, I grabbed the tank and that's what I'll be doing most of this match, using the road to get to A, which is the fastest way. If you go through the water, you have to go all the way around. I managed to get a spot on this tank from the really early on, so I could already open fire before he really knew what was going on. He's pretty smart, trying to flank me because tanks are the weakest in the back, and I was sort of stuck. But because I got the jump on him, I sort of won out. As you can see, Crodon spawned into my tank as a gunner. Didn't have a gunner initially, but he joined me. We're on the chat, but the chat on PSN doesn't really work very well yet, or on PS3. And here I'm fast forwarding, which I'll be doing throughout the video, because this was a match that actually lasted 23 minutes because the lobby is only half full. Teams are pretty balanced actually, but because the map is so humongous, we barely saw each other. And now you see me switching to IR scope, which is really powerful on the tank because first of all, you can always see mines. Mines on the road are sort of hard to spot, and if you have to keep an eye out for mines, then you're likely to actually miss other important features in your surroundings and get snuck up on by engineers or support guys putting C4 on you. So the IR scope sort of simplifies it all. Here you see another tank at D. I was actually pointing it out to Crodon, like, hey, empty tank, what's up with that? Why didn't the opponent take it? And he actually jumped out and grabbed it while I already started shooting at it, because you don't want to leave a tank for the enemy. But he actually took it, which was pretty smart. Only what you will see now, that flash there was a tank way in the distance over there. You can see it now sort of vaguely, who had started shooting at Crodon. I didn't really know what was going on. He was trying to return fire, but it didn't really work out, and he ran out. I tried to shoot back, but it didn't really work. Anyway, so saying about the tanks, there's a tank at A and a tank at D, and then there are 2 tanks in each spawn, so that's 6 tanks in total. So these tank tactics for Caspian are really important. I mean, on console you have 4 points that you have to take in Conquest, 24 players, and 6 tanks. So the chance that you're going to be a tank driver or gunner is, well, 50% or more, because 12 people can be manning the tanks. Then you see me fast forwarding through some of the action bits because I'm trying to focus on tactics and sort of showing you what kind of decisions I'm making or considerations that were involved in what I'm actually doing, and killing things that I see doesn't really seem like a consideration at all. Of course, if you see an enemy, shoot at him. A tank isn't really stealthy or anything like that, especially not when you're the driver. You might as well just start shooting at anything and everything. I mean, if you see a tank really far in the distance, you can line up your shots first, which I'm trying to do right here. You see that the IR scope really, you know, lit up that tank for me that was half covered in the foliage, so I really tried to shoot at him immediately and drive at the same time, and I sort of crashed into the lantern pole and didn't get a hit mark on him at all. It did help me see this guy as well, but because Crodon sort of jumped out ages ago to take the other tank, I'm trying to shoot him with the LMG, but yeah, you can't win them all. Sort of missed, but here I decided to change the order from D to C because I want to follow this tank. Because if he flanks me and he shoots me in the back or the side and he basically gets to jump on me, I'm dead. Because first of all, I'm not an engineer, I'm playing support here. And secondly, I don't have a gunner to fix me up. I mean, he'd have to be an engineer himself, of course. The tank will recover if the damage, or like if your health of the tank health makes no sense. Anyway, if your tank has 50% health or more, I think it's something along those lines. Basically, when it's not disabled, it will automatically respawn health, but if it goes below that, it will not respawn health. So it's crucial for me to stay above that 50% as long as I'm on my own. Now here I'm actually talking to Crodon, and he was telling me there was stuff going on at A, which made me sort of focus there, and then I saw the tank and I tried to shoot at it from a distance, got a few kills, kept shooting at it for a long time, sort of hoping to get lucky shots. I mean, you have a bit of splash damage going on with this thing, and the fact that it's already gone red means that they could have spawned there. Crodon died there and respawned because he's a recon, so he has a spawn beacon there, which is smart to do in those situations because he's really behind enemy lines. Got a nice lucky shot there on the car passing me by, so pretty happy with that. It's really important to learn to, or really important, I mean, yeah, it really helps your tank skills if you can learn to drive and shoot at the same time. and also not to show your back to other tanks. I have no idea why that guy was basically looking in the direction of his own spawn. There's nothing there, and there's very unlikely to have been any enemy there as well, so he was just sort of opening up his backside for some shell therapy. Yeah, I mean, if you get the first shot in, and also I think I use, I don't know what it's called, it's a perk that makes you reload the shells faster, so that way I'm more likely to win a duel with the tank because my shells reload faster. So if we're, you know, if I'm almost winning, then I just have that little edge. And I see I'm fast forwarding a lot here because basically what's going on is like I'm just driving around the map as fast as I can, trying to keep getting keep taking these flags. And I mean, it's nice, it gets a lot of points, but as you can see, we're still losing. I mean, 67 to 112. And the problem is here that they probably split up more and are taking flags at different locations, like different squads, or even within one squad they might be splitting up. And we are not doing that apparently. Kodan and I are sort of trying to do that, but we're only 2 people. And basically they often have more flags than we do, and then we bleed tickets. So it's really important that you try to go for these flags and really take them, because I mean the whole story about KDR and how much that contributes, it never contributes as much as just getting the flags. Here's an empty tank that just spawned here at A, same situation as we saw at D. This time I'm not blowing it up because we just took this flag and there are a bunch of people here, and I think it was actually Kodan that now got into the tank again. Other teammate Death Cobras up in the sky as a jet pilot. I haven't been shot at by any of the enemy jets, which means he's doing a pretty good job at defending the skies, and that's really perfect because I wouldn't be able to do my job down here with the tank, because defending against jets and helos is really hard. I mean, it's possible, and I'm sure there are people out there that are really good at it, but it's hard to do. What we have here, a lot of their guys are now in the direction of A and moving away from there, and what you can see is C has a nice elevation, so you can sort of look into A and shoot there, and because I have the IR scope, I can spot a lot of them already. And I also got a gunner, which I picked up the last time I took A, which was like half a minute ago, I think. And he's spotting people as well, as far as I can tell, because I wasn't. And you do get the little triangles above them, and I can't spot continuously because as a squad leader, if I would spot continuously, I would be switching orders continuously. I mean, I have to be careful. I can spot people now because A is the only flag in that direction, but if a lot of flags are overlapping or there are different points on the horizon, I really have to watch out with that. But yeah, with the gunner along, it gets much easier. I mean, there are a bunch of engineers here trying to sneak up on me, and what you basically see is this guy, I don't know what his idea of sneaking really was, because, I mean, he was just sort of creeping along there, but he was already sticking out really far and he could easily see me. He doesn't need to see that much of me. I mean, if you can see the tank can see you, obviously, so you have to be a bit more stealthy than that. Here you have the shooting and walking, shooting and driving. I'm so a bit distracted now by the footage myself, and yeah, I drove into something, but that's fine. I mean, I got the shot, didn't lose too much speed, so that's really nice. What you see here is I'm using the LMG and the main tank shells, and basically both of them have a reload time, and whenever one of them is reloading, I quickly switch to the other, and that way I can continuously keep shooting. And yeah, it's a perfect way to get more kills and maximize your effectiveness in general. And now we're taking the D flag again, and we're still losing. And as I said, it's just circles, circles, circles. Oh, here the tank spawned back, and I'm staring at it because if somebody gets in, I'm a goner. Here actually somebody shoots me from the back, but I was sort of expecting it because, I mean, my back is the most sensitive, so that's why I always have to keep an eye on, you know. In the tank, your flanks, but especially your back is sensitive. And here this tank is empty, and there's nobody of our team who can go into that, so we're blowing it up. And that way they won't have it for a long time either, so it's a really smart thing to do, you know. Never leave the heavy machinery for the opponent to take. And here we're back at A, The thing at Caspian border is that A and D seem to be the farthest apart, but for a tank they're sort of not, because it's very easy to speed along the highway that connects them. Actually, I think it's almost as slow to try to creep up the hill to C. What you do here, and especially on this map that's pretty big and tank heavy with 6 tanks, is that you press the stick to go faster, and you really should do this. Makes a huge difference, and try to do it all the time basically, because even if you sort of drive erratically and crash into things, it doesn't damage your tank to crash into things. And your erratic driving makes it less likely that engineers will hit you, and especially the support guys sneak up on you and put C4 on you. So it's better to be a terribly erratic driver than to be a slow driver. Now here, there are actually a bunch of engineers and they're sort of hiding everywhere, and one of the guys in my tank was on the CITV and he got out and he's hunting this guy down. You can see it on the map. You know, the blue triangles after the red triangle. That's perfect. I read in one of the pro guides, which was something I had never come up with, so I'm just quoting here, that infantry should support tanks. And that's not a way that a lot of people would think about this, but tanks are strong, but they're strong at a distance. If anybody actually sneaks up on them, then you can take them out so easily, especially with C4. It's ridiculous. So it's really important that your team actually supports the tanks and goes after these support guys trying to put C4 and these engineers trying to take them out as well. That was actually the match already. You could see me sort of backing up onto this other tank, and you see what we actually won. The server sort of filled up at the end, and I guess we had the momentum to make the best of it and make the last push. And the thing is, with Conquest, if you take all the flags and you have like a little bit of a buffer of tickets left, then the opponent will start bleeding tickets, and you can still win even if you're behind like quite a lot. So so that was a really good match. But so far my experience is that Caspian border Conquest is a great place to earn a lot of points. The only thing you really need is somebody to keep the skies clear, and generally, well, it always helps if you have a team supporting you, but as you saw, you can also drive around for a while and actually survive without a gunner, which is not ideal and wasn't something I support, but still. So if you liked this video, leave a comment or give it a thumbs up, or maybe even subscribe, and I'll see if I can make more. Thank you guys for watching.